All right, you guys, the sun is going down a bit, but still, as always, natural light and no filter. We are talking about the Oxygenetix Oxygenating Foundation again today. Full disclosure, this is sponsored, but you have heard me talk about this ad nauseum before. You know I genuinely use it. And as I said, I've obviously got no filter on now. You could tell if it didn't look any good. So, you know, I don't think you can fake results with color cosmetics. So this is sponsored, but I do love this. Now, I've talked about it before because I'm obsessed with it. What I thought I might do though, I got a lot of questions about it, and I know so many of you went out and bought it and are loving it, and I'm thrilled to hear that. But there were a lot of questions before you committed to purchase. I did DM, I'm pretty sure I got back to everyone, but I'm preemptively going to answer them. And I also just want to recap why I love this so much. What I mentioned in the last video was that I am the biggest fusspot with foundations. I think I'm probably fussier with foundation than I am with any other color cosmetics product. And that's because I have such a, I don't know, it's like I'm a diva with foundation. The list of criteria I have for me to truly fall in love with a foundation is long. But I just think there are good formulas out there, so why not have a long criteria list? It's literally my job. This one ticks every single one of those boxes. So I know I covered this before, but I think it is just worth recapping. The first box is that it feels like literally nothing on the skin. I know it sounds silly because I work in beauty, but I don't like the feeling of products really sitting on the skin. This feels like absolutely nothing. With that, and something that's not necessarily part of my criteria, but it is amazing. It's sort of like skincare makeup. This was formulated to be suitable for skin that's at its most sensitive. So it's like you're giving your skin skincare benefits while you've got your color cosmetics on, which is great. So that adds to why it feels so beautiful on the skin as well. The other thing that I always look for is I want the finish to still look like skin. So I'm not saying like matte, satin, whatever. I'm talking about just the actual way that it sits on the skin, if that makes sense. I have brought this up to pretty full coverage. Kind of jumping all over the place now, aren't I? This, you can sheer it out really easily. You can also build it up to full coverage. I find that a lot of foundations, you can't do that. It's either going to be sheer or it's going to be full. This is super, super versatile. And then, of course, you want it to be long wearing. And this is I don't think I addressed this last time. So I had a couple of questions. Firstly, I didn't tell you what shade I wear last time. I wear the shade taupe. It is a perfect match for my skin. They do have, you can order sample cards on the website, but this is the best tip of all, go to foundation.com and just get color matched on there. It's like I've never had an issue with foundation. You just type in shades you wear in existing products and it matches you. And I've found that to be super accurate for this. This is what I did the first time. So that's what shade I'm wearing. I did just mention that it's long wearing. A question I got asked a lot was, do you find that you need to powder over the top during the day? No, I don't. Now that is probably more a question of skin type. I don't have oily skin. However, even though I don't have oily skin, there are some foundations where I do need to sort of powder the T-zone. And I think that's because they're quite sheer dewy finish situations. I don't find that I need to powder or touch up this at all during the day. I think because it's that kind of middle of the road finish on the skin, or certainly on my skin. What other questions did you ask? A little goes a long way. I had a few questions about the size of the bottle. You need the tiniest amount even to get this finish, which, I mean, for some of you, this probably isn't full coverage, but for me, this is about as full as we'll go. I've barely used any. I use a brush to really buff it into the skin. I feel like you get more out of your product that way. I always feel like I'm wasting product if I apply it with my fingers, but again, it's a personal preference thing. I think that I've covered every FAQ. I feel like I have, but I guess just to recap, it feels like nothing. Honestly, I feel like my skin, it's just it's a your skin but better foundation, and it's good for your skin as well. So it ticks every box that I had and some. It's the sort of product you know, when you try a product and you already feel like, yeah, I've sort of got my foundation figured out. I'm all good with this. And then you try the product and you're like, oh, cool. So this has ruined me for all other makeup because it's so good. So it's one of those products. I do have a discount code that I will obviously write here. That was the other question I got. I knew if I just kept talking, the question would come back. Is it suitable for acne prone skin? Yes, because it is full of those skin loving ingredients, but there is a second formula that is specifically for acne prone skin. I just jumped out of this and checked to make sure I wasn't making that up. Yes, there is an acne control foundation as well. I can't recommend it because I've not tried it, but honestly, I can't see why this wouldn't be suitable for acne prone skin as well, but to each their own. I will, as I've mentioned, of course, I'll put a link in here to swipe up. Just enjoy. I've had so many messages from people that have gone out and bought this and they feel as strongly about it as I do. So it's just a no-brainer.